Hello, this is Shar from The Real Kitchen for Real People, and I trust that everyone is doing and feeling well on this chilly day. Today we're going to feature Shar's chocolate chip pecan cookies. And what we have here are the ingredients, and the ingredients are 3/4 cup of butter, okay? And then we got a 1/4 cup of shortening, which is 4 tablespoons. 1 cup of your brown sugar. And then a 1/2 cup of your regular sugar. And then 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. A little dash of salt. You have 2 eggs. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I have vanilla bean here, but you can use whatever vanilla you have, vanilla flavoring or vanilla extract. And then you're going to have 2.5 cup of your all-purpose flour. And also, you're going to have your semi-sweet chocolate chips. And since I don't have a whole bag, which is the Shar version, I'm going to use a little of caramel bits in my cookies. And then of course nuts, pecans, walnuts, or any of those nuts. If you want nuts, you'll add about probably a cup to a cup and a half of pecans or nuts of your choice. Since my husband like a lot of nuts in there, so I'm going to use these walnuts and pecans in this recipe. So, without further ado, let's get started. Turn your oven on 375. Okay, now we're going to blend our butter and our shortening until it's all smooth. Now, I'll blend this because my blender is loud. So, I'll just blend it and I'll come back to show you what the consistency looks like. Okay, this is what your butter mixture will look like. I beat this up, creamed it up for about 30 seconds on high speed. Now I'm getting ready to add my sugars. I have a cup of brown sugar and a 1/2 cup of regular sugar. And I'm going to blend those all in this butter mixture. Now I'm going to add my 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and then the dash of salt, which is about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to mix that in. Okay, now scrape your sides. Whenever you're blending anything, be sure to stop in the process and scrape your sides so you can get all that that's on the side mixed in. Then you want to blend it some more now that you scrape your sides. Okay. Now let's add a teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going to mix that in. Now you're going to add your eggs, and you're going to add them one at a time into your batter. And beat after each one. So I've added that. I'm going to beat after adding this egg. Okay, let's add the other egg and beat after it. And as I said in many other videos, that I like to add my egg in a bowl first to make sure that your eggs are fresh and they're good. You can smell them and tell. If you don't smell that eggy smell, then it's okay. But if they start stinking and smelling real loud, you do not want to use that in your baking or cooking items. So we're going to blend this last egg. Okay, let's scrape these sides. another blend. Okay, now we're going to blend in the flour, and I'm going to blend it in a little bit at a time. A little more. Add in the last part of my flour. And it's going to be thick, so if your blender can't handle the thick, then just use a wooden spoon to stir in the remaining flour. But I'm going to blend this last part here. Okay, now that you've blended, then you can take out your blenders and kind of clean the batter off of them into your bowl. Because you want to get all the goodies in here. And these were some favorite cookies of ours. Of course, I just kind of add things to them or take away things. But this is your basic cookie dough for chocolate chips. And then you can start adding anything after this. If you don't like the chocolate chips, you can just add nuts. If you don't like nuts, then add chocolate chips. You can add dried cranberries or anything like that to this cookie batter to make it your own. So now that I got this cleaned off, then I'll show you what's next. Okay, now I'm going to add my chocolate chip to the batter. And since I don't have a whole bag of these, because I never use a whole bag, I always use half the bag and then half of something else. And today I'm going to use these caramel bites that I've seen, which looks pretty good. So I'm going to add a few of those to the batter. Not the whole bag. It looks like it might be about a 1/4 cup. And then I'm going to stir these all up. And the batter will be thick, so get your wooden spoon and stir all that in. Okay, until it's mixed in there pretty good. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to add my pecans. I'm going to stir this up. I have the pecans in here. My family likes nutty cookies, so I have to have a lot of pecans in here. And I'm going to put a few walnuts in here after I stir these pecans up. And I get these pecans every year from the pecan orchard. So they're fresh pecans, and believe me, if you can get fresh pecans, it really makes a difference in your recipe. And it's worth it. It tastes totally different from store-bought pecans, but if that's all you can get, then that's what you use. Okay, I'm going to add my walnuts. Okay, so what I end up doing is probably about a cup of the chopped pecans and a 1/2 cup of the walnuts. But you can do it any way you want. If you don't want nuts at all, you don't have to have it, like I said. And if you want a half and or whatever. And if you want more than what I've stated, then add more. But whatever you add, just make sure you stir it up in there real good. Okay? Okay, now we're going to let the dough rest while you get your cookie sheet out and get it ready. Okay, what I've done was measure my cookie sheet and put parchment paper on the top, basically because my cookie sheet is very old. but it's one of my favorites, so I always keep it. But line it with parchment paper. If you don't have any, that's okay. Use a non-stick cookie sheet. Okay, and then grab you a tablespoon, because you're gonna dip your dough out in tablespoon sizes. Unless you want a bigger cookie, you can use maybe a ice cream scoop. But we're gonna place these on your cookie sheet, and I'll do one so you can see, and then I will finish and come back. And I'm gonna show you the one. About like that. Fill your tablespoon up, and then just make a ball out of it like that. Then put it on your cookie sheet. I'll put it right here so you can see it. And then I'm gonna fill this whole cookie sheet up with cookies. Now I'm not gonna do all my dough today, so I'll half in it probably, so we won't eat them all at once. But I'll put probably half of that dough, half of this dough in a storage bag and put it in the freezer. And I'll probably have it in the freezer for about a week. And then next week I'll have this already finished. I won't have to do this again if we want chocolate chip cookies. But this is pretty much going to be caramel chocolate chip pecan cookies. I guess I can call it that. So go on and fill your cookie sheet up with your cookie balls, and I will be back. Okay, as I said, I was going to only use half, so I'm going to put this other half in a freezer bag and put it in the freezer for later. It'll probably be good for the Super Bowl snacks. But I have 20 cookies here on this sheet, and that's plenty for right now. But feel free to make the whole batch if you have a large crowd to feed. But it's just a few of us, so I'm just gonna do 20 cookies. That's plenty for right now. So you're gonna place these in the oven, your preheated oven, and let them cook for about 8 to 9 minutes, or until the edges are lightly brown. And then once they are, just take them out and transfer them to a cooling rack for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes before you dig in. Okay? And I'll be back once they're done. Okay, I placed the other half in the freezer bag, and I'll put these in the freezer, and we'll have these probably next week or week after. And in the meantime, you clean up your area and make sure you get all your stuff put up. It's a lot less stress when you clean up as you go. Now that's one thing I learned from my mom. Always in the kitchen, clean up as you go, and it will make your experience in the kitchen a lot less stressful. Okay, like I said, I'll be back once those cookies are ready. Okay, here my cookies are, and I end up cooking them about 12 minutes because my oven cooks a little different. So depending on your oven, at 375, cook them anywhere between 8 to 12 minutes, just until they get brown around the edges like that. See, that's slightly brown around the edges. Okay, now I'm getting ready to put them on the cooling rack. Just lay them on your cooling rack and then let them rest for about 5 minutes. Okay, here's the finished product. Don't they look delicious? And you know what I'm getting ready to do after dinner? I'll have one of these for dessert. So if you like this recipe, be sure to thumbs up below and comment and let me know what you think of this recipe and what type of ingredients you added extra to your cookies. I would like to know that. And if not, if you haven't subscribed, please do so by hitting that bell down below. And then now we have a join button that's up in the left corner that you will be able to join and sponsor this channel. So without any further ado, I'm getting ready to eat, and then I'll have these for dessert. And I'll talk to you later. Love, love. Yummy. I have someone here coming to my taster, so stand by for the taste. Okay, these have rested for 5 minutes, so here's my taster. He's going to taste one of these cookies.
The official taster is here. I'll take a cookie over a cake any day.
So, there you have it. -1 cookie on the plate. So that means thumbs up. All right, love, love. Enjoy.